All right, take a good look at your screens, folks, because we are tracking the impact of rain moving into central Indiana.
You can see it on Live Doppler 13 radar right now, and it's just the start of a stretch of what we're going to have of a series of rainy days here in central Indiana.
And so when is the rain actually arriving? How long will it be here? I know we've seen some over downtown Indianapolis recently.
Yeah, we've already had some rain, some rumbles of thunder today, and we do expect more this evening, overnight, and more tomorrow. So tomorrow's going to be a day you're not going to want to forget the umbrella, as we do have rain and storms in the forecast. Doesn't look like a lot right now on radar. The one area that we tracked earlier this afternoon is now across the eastern part of the state and has weakened, but we still have some rain moving through Connersville, Liberty, just south of Richmond. Let's go north. Little concern, we've got some individual storms beginning to take shape, at least some pockets of heavier rain east of Rossville and another one northeast of Hartford City. Concerning because there is a boundary that extends back to the west and the potential for some additional development here across the northern, say, third of the state over the next couple of hours. And then eventually all of this will sink south. We are still under that threat of severe weather for the northern sections of our area. That is a level 2 out of 5 threat, so we'll be watching radar carefully this evening. Future Track 13 shows the spotty showers and thunderstorms with that severe threat, we think mainly this evening, and then overnight there will be pockets of steadier rain and some rumbles of thunder that's going to have an impact on that Wednesday morning drive. We'll continue the timeline and look ahead to more stormy days in the 7-day.
And you can now stream our new Live Local Radar 24/7. Watch the storm as it rolls in anytime. See what's going on in your neighborhood around the clock and check the forecast whenever you want. Stream it now on WTHR Plus and watch it free.
Today, testimony now underway. This in the trial of an area teen who's accused of raping a younger boy while traveling on a special needs school bus. The jury today heard from the alleged victim's mom, the bus driver, and also the monitor who was on that bus.
Rich Nye is in Jennings County covering this case as the jury still waits to see the crucial bus security video of the alleged incident.
Landon Doty faces 4 counts of rape and 11 felonies in all for alleged sexual assaults on a nonverbal 7-year-old boy with autism that Doty sat next to on the Jennings County school bus last spring. Doty was 15 years old at the time.
It's a perfect victim. He cannot tell anyone what Landon Doty had been doing to him. Landon Doty knew that and took advantage of him.
On April 16th, the bus driver noticed in the mirror that the younger boy appeared to be sitting on Doty's lap. The bus driver stopped, and the bus monitor went to the back of the bus to investigate and separate the 2 boys.
I could not determine what was going on, and I know he walks around with his hands in his sweatshirt all the time, but it almost felt like he was trying to hide himself, and I kind of even went, a little back and just couldn't determine if there was anything going on or not. I still don't know what to think about all that.
When he got off the bus later, Doty said he was bouncing the boy on his lap, just being silly. The alleged victim's mother testified that she did not notice any distress in her son after the incident.
Did he miss any school within a couple of weeks after April 16th or 17th?
Not that I recall.
After reviewing 300 hours of bus video, the prosecutor filed the charges last summer.
We're not going to hide behind the term reasonable doubt necessarily, although that is the state's burden of proof. We believe that the evidence will show that there were no crimes committed, there were no attempts to commit crimes.
The key evidence in this trial is the bus video, and the jury will see that video Wednesday morning to help them decide for themselves what was going on. And Landon Doty is expected to take the witness stand to tell his side of the story as well. In Vernon, Rich Nye, 13 News.
And Rich, as well as his camera, is allowed in the courtroom, but we will not be permitted to show that bus video that jurors will be seeing. The trial is expected to conclude tomorrow.
Tonight, a 19-year-old man from Carmel is facing charges, accused of having hundreds of thousands of files of child sex abuse material. Ian Altenhoff is charged with multiple counts of possession of child pornography and child sex abuse material. According to the court documents, the Hamilton County investigators say they got a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children last April. Those documents say they tracked child sex abuse material to his address in Carmel here in Indiana and found material on an iPad that belongs to him. His next hearing is now coming up on May 26. Tonight, sex crimes have advocates and police on alert, all ahead of the upcoming Final Four. All these festivities are expected to bring tens of thousands of people here to Indy.
But as Ashton Hackman joins us, one group is using this moment to highlight a darker side of March Madness.
The Final Four court is set, and so is a nationwide campaign. The message, sex buying isn't a game. Awareness centered on dangers off the court, human trafficking. The nonprofit Rights for Girls is behind it.
We see that every time that there is a large mass gathering, sporting event with lots of celebration and fun activities, there's also the underside of that.
It's the second year of the campaign, up in several host cities, including here. You'll spot this billboard in Lebanon, heading south on I-65. Advocates say large events brings more sex buyers into town, putting more victims at risk.
When the demand spikes, then there are often times that, women and girls are being forced to meet this demand.
Advocates say it starts with awareness and reducing demand, a demand bringing the issue of sex trafficking center court. In Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
And the campaign launched during last year's Final Four in San Antonio. Targeted police operations at the time helped save 8 sex trafficking victims.
Meantime, flights added to our airport, all in anticipation of all these fans that are coming in, the increased demand for Final Four basketball.
So the Indy airport is expecting over 70,000 fans to make their way here. Non-stop flights were added from airports near 2 of the colleges that have made the Final Four, UConn and Arizona. And don't forget, thousands more will likely drive here from U of I in Champaign, Illinois, and the University of Michigan up in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, pretty close for Illinois and Michigan fans to make the road trip here. The Final Four game is Saturday and the championship game is Monday, April 6th. Of course, that's at the home of the Colts, Lucas Oil Stadium.
About to be a lot of people. All right, and then join us tomorrow night after the Pacers game here on Channel 13 for our Indy's Got Game special.
We're talking all things Final Four, from the games to the fan activations and, of course, the excitement as all the fans arrive. Dom and Eli are the host of your show, and they are joined by a special appearance by our own Samantha Johnson. So that's going to be fun. Make sure you tune in for that.
Yeah. All right, our news continues tonight. A last plea from community members ahead of a final vote on a proposed data center.
We're talking about the one that could go in near 25th and Sherman. This is a story that we've been following those for and against for you for months now. The latest is the proposal has community members and city leaders divided, and a vote is set.
Our Matthew Foltz went to the Martindale Brightwood neighborhood where he learned both sides of the story.
Brightwood as this railroad town.
A breakdown of history in the Martindale Brightwood neighborhood.
And there was a whole lot of wealth that was starting to concentrate here.
Led by Sampson Livingston.
Brightwood was its own city from the 1870s to 1897. It was this affluent, thriving district.
You may know him from his historical walk and talk tours throughout parts of the city.
Few members just kind of getting a look or feel for what this neighborhood looks like, what type of love it could use, and ways it's been affected over the years.
But Tuesday, his tour came with the last-minute plea to save this plot of land near 25th and Sherman from turning into a data center.
This is a neighborhood that we're in. We're not in the middle of nowhere. We're in the middle of Indianapolis, Indiana. Big city.
LA-based company MetroBlocks wants to build a data center on the vacant space.
There's nothing about this proposal that would be harmful or dangerous to our community.
City County Councilor Ron Gibson represents this district and believes this is a good investment in the community.
It would allow for more jobs, union jobs, for the construction jobs up to 3 years. In addition to that, there's incentives to invest in more affordable housing and infrastructure needs.
Gibson says he also made sure Metro Block sent out informative letters to several thousand residents, letting them know more information on their concerns. Right now, the Metropolitan Development Commission is expected to make a final vote on the data center on Wednesday, and it's a vote with a lot at stake.
Whatever decision they make, Councilman Ron Gibson will stand by it.
No matter where you sit politically, this is something that's affecting Hoosiers all across the state, and it's honestly sick to see it happening in a city, in an urban area.
Now, that hearing before the Metropolitan Development Commission is set to begin tomorrow at 1 p.m. down at the City County building. Reporting here on Indy's East Side, I'm Matthew Foltz, 13 News.